YouTube, back in the video. Me and Uli, we're gonna do something big. What are we gonna do? We're gonna lower the car. So, damn, I should've got a video of it beforehand. The way it looks. It's kind of hard to tell in the garage, but that's what it looks like right now. You get it from a few angles. Huh? Yeah, we can move it. That right there. About 3 of my fingers. As far as wheel gap in the rear. 3 in the fronts as well. And the ones I got, the springs that I got were the 4 Performance lowering springs. I have all the tools in here, like the low profile jack, all of Uli's tools, and then the springs. I think these are the fronts. We'll see. They're pretty heavy. I think they're probably going to be heavier than the stocks. So first thing we're going to do, obviously we're going to have to lift up the car. So before you lift the car with the jack, make sure you're going to put it on a safe place so the car doesn't crush you. So, I don't know if you guys can see this. So the jack is right here. It's going to make contact with the pinch point right here. I don't know if you can see that right there. So that's strong enough. That's going to hold the car. After that, we're going to put the jack stands around here. Backing up the car is always scary. So as you can see, we already got the car up. It's actually pretty high. How much did you pay for this jack?
$220.
That's not bad. So we got one side up already. Looks pretty sturdy and doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So we're gonna do the other side, and then we're gonna start taking off the tires. So as you can see, the car's officially off the ground. All 4 stands are on. We're just gonna start taking off the tires. We're putting the jack in the rear just for safety, just so we don't get crushed. I doubt stands will fail, but you know, better safe than sorry. Because this car has MagneRide, that's gonna need the battery in order to turn on. So we're gonna have to disconnect it. And it's right here in the back left corner. You just take off this little pin right here and it lifts up. It should be right there. 10mm socket, the negative. Just gotta loosen it up, pull it off. 21mm socket. So we're gonna pop those off real quick. Damn. Super loud. Sheesh. Now that the tires are off, you need a T60 torque bit. Put it in right there, one right here. The other one right there, if it focuses, there it is. We're gonna take off the caliper, we're gonna hang it right here, and then we're actually gonna be cleaning and painting these. So at the same time, while we're taking off the springs and whatnot, we're gonna be painting these. They're gonna be yellow, and then I have black Brembo stickers for these. So that's gonna look clean. Always getting them. You might need to use a breaker bar like he's doing right now, because these are probably gonna be on super tight. There it goes, look at that. So that's slid off. Just gonna hang it on the control arm right there. Giant brakes. So the rotor's off. He's just kind of bungeeing that up so it doesn't fall and break, because that would be a whole other problem. If you can see it in the light, but he's just gonna take off that sensor. That's for the MagneRide. There it is. Popped off. So he already took it off, but basically you're just gonna unscrew this. You're gonna get a wrench. What was it, a 17?
Yeah, 17.
17, hold it in the back. And then with either a socket or an impact, preferably, it'd be easier. You just unscrew that, and that's the sway bar end link. So after the sway bar end link, 24mm socket right here, 21.
Yes.
So you can probably do it by yourself, but it'd be easier to have a partner. He's gonna drill it in right there, or unscrew that with the impact, and I'll try my best to hold it in place. That easy. Same thing with the bottom. Then with the hammer, press on this side, and they should relatively easily slide right out. Alright guys, it may seem like you have to unscrew it out, but just don't be afraid to hit it with the hammer. Eventually it'll come out. Bolts are out. Now the whole strut is just hanging loose. All we gotta do is unscrew these bolts, and then it should slide right out. 15 millimeter socket. They're not that tight, right? Looks like they're loosening pretty easily. If you're alone, you're gonna be wanting to hold the strut as you do this. It might be a little tricky, but if you have a partner, you can have the other person just hold on to it so it doesn't drop onto the floor.
Alright, just lower. Did it fall to the ground?
I'm not sure. Oh, alright, that's the strut. It's out. In order to take the springs off, you need a spring compressor. You can rent these from like O'Reilly or AutoZone. It's pretty simple. You hook them on like he's doing right now. He has both on. And then you just need an impact. Let's zoom out a little bit. An impact to compress them. You could do it with the socket wrench too, but it's a little bit more tedious. So one on each side, one at the top, one at the bottom. And this spring should be off quick and easy.
So we're gonna need one for that.
The 21 millimeter socket, you're gonna unscrew this.
Watch it.
And that's off. The camera died. I had to get a new battery, but basically, while it was still on the strut, you unscrew it slowly because this can shoot out at you, so you don't want to just loosen it all the way at once. So be careful of that and mindful of that when you're doing this by yourself. So this is a comparison of the difference in length. As you can see, the new ones are a lot shorter. You don't even need to compress the new spring in order to put on the top hat back on. Should be in contact right there. So that's how you can tell it's sitting correctly. So. Alright, we got the strut back on. The springs are installed. So we just put these back on, hammered them back in, torqued them down to 250 pound-feet of torque. We put the sway bar end link back on, put the sensor for the magnet ride back on, sensor over here we put back on, and then just put everything back in the mounts. So now we're just gonna clean this because look how bad it is, and then we're gonna put the brakes back on. Got so busy working I almost forgot to record this, but after you finish the front steps, you want to unclip this sensor. This is for the magnet ride. After this, you're gonna unscrew these bolts right here. You want to unscrew this bolt right here. This is just for the brake line. After that, you're gonna want to get a jack to support the subframe. So it's already under there. So there's two 13 millimeter bolts right under here.
There was.
Well, there was. He took them off already. And then that was size. What size was that one?
21.
21 millimeter bolt came out of there. After that, we just need to take out that bolt right there, and the whole thing should be able to fall down. Easy peasy. Look at that. The extent. Alright, after that, once you've taken all those bolts, we're gonna slowly...
Very slowly, I'll tell you when to stop.
Hold it there? Or more?
More. And it's there, but I don't know how the fuck I took it out.
So there, we just gotta jiggle it out. So rear spring is out. It's right here. If you guys are doing this on jack and jack stands, I highly recommend getting somebody to get on top of this and just start pressing it down, because it will not come out. This thing gets in the way. You can take this apart, take it off, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Use a use the pry bar to compress the spring and pull it as you're pressing down on the pry bar.
Yeah. So this might be a two-person thing. And the CJ Pony Parts video, I don't know how he did that alone. Probably because he had it on lift, but... Alright, let's get this back on. Is that the right side one? Yeah. If you guys are doing the 4 performance springs, you can see it has WR. That means that it's the right side. So that means this is the right one.
You live and you learn.
Finally got that shit on. Like I said, the same way to take it out is the same way you're gonna put that shit back in. I was hopping on the fucking, on this, what is this called again? Basically on the rotor, just jumping up and down, and he was like trying to wiggle it in. He was a bitch because you have to get that seated correctly, and then the top hat has to be seated correctly. So now we're gonna jack it back up, bolt everything. Almost there. Alright, so this is several days later, I think like a week. So a bolt snapped in the subframe. So this is it. Calipers are painted. The car has been on jack stands for about a week now, and reason being is because the bolts right here, I don't know if you can see it, the one snapped. I don't know if it's focusing, but one snapped right here. We had to take this whole subframe arm, the whole arm out, and basically take it to a fabrication shop and get that fixed. So it's all fixed. The springs are on. Everything is ready to go. Calipers are painted, stickers are on there. Now I'm just putting the wheels back on, and then take the car out for the first time in, I don't even know, it's been almost, I think like closer to 2 weeks. But yeah, I'll let you guys see it in a second once I'm done putting the wheels back on, and then we're out. Okay guys, everything bolted back together, everything's torqued down. Finally, I get to start the car. I still have the hood popped open. I just connected the battery back. Now I'm gonna turn it on for the first time in like a week. So, let's see, already, it's about 2 fingers. I think it was 3 before. Calipers look good, but turn it on. Okay. Let's hope it works. Come on. Alright, it's on. I'm gonna pull out. Alright guys, everything's working properly, everything's good. This is what the car looks like now. So yeah, it did drop quite a bit. It looks a lot more aggressive, even though that was, what, a little under an inch, 20 millimeters. It looks good. The yellow calipers look mean. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for the video. If you found this video helpful, give me a like, give me a comment down below, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.